to your bitch like I was Drake,
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front, so you get my meals. So I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come on with a dank, skrilling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward That Waits live on Sports.com. I'm Easy. Let's spin more racks.
Hi.
Young Chris,
Yes,
JB
sir.
Smooth. Smash that like button. 5-star review on our podcast platforms. Please and thank you. Please and thank you, Chris. Putting on the Superman suit.
Yeah,
Because
come on,
today's the
man.
day, ladies and gents.
Come on,
Today's
man.
the day. Smitty tells you about the
I
time.
don't know what time it is. Hold on, this is backwards.
hold on,
You know it
backwards.
again.
It's like the 90s. Chris Cross will make you jump. Up.
Kane
All right.
Cunningham, baby, it's time. It's time.
Or is that the Blake Griffin?
Very
Why is it taking
awkward.
you so long to put on?
Anticlimactic. I don't. Let's. It's.
There's a, there we go.
Yeah.
What is happening
There
right
we
now?
go.
Listen,
There we go.
Chris
Two
and I did
is
the
in
refer a
blue
friend
tonight.
get a credit thing on a certain sports book. No, I'm gonna say that. In case we don't get it, we gotta call them out.
Yeah.
DraftKings. Where's our bread, fam? Where's our bread? Chris just made the $5 bet. Made the $500 deposit.
Damn.
Where's our bets? I'm trying to make a big
where's
baller.
our
Come
money?
on, relax.
Where's our money?
$500
Come on.
deposit.
Yeah, he's got
Hey,
it like
man.
that, man.
Fuck.
I don't got it like that.
He's
but
nice like
but
that,
we
man.
gonna get it like that.
Siri didn't think he's got it like that.
Hey,
And
I
also,
turned
he
that
says,
shit
did you-
off. I was done with her advice. That'd be,
Rubbings had a banger of a game. A little bit weird moment there with that stick goal.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that? What are the rules with that, by the way? Is it
You can't do that.
and they just let it happen?
Yeah.
Don't they review the goals though?
Wait. What goal?
Well, did he get it? Someone told me he got a goal by just throwing a stick.
No, he stopped a goal from happening by throwing a stick. Yeah.
Okay. I got texters that said the opposite, or maybe I just read it weird.
Yeah, it was about to
AD.
be a goal, and he threw his stick, and it hit the puck, and they didn't call anything.
That hurts.
It was a fun game, though.
Hell
Fun night.
yeah.
Great game to be at. Shout out to D-Mac. Shout out to the Red Wings. Shout out to Gentry.
That third period was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a lot of fun. And, yeah, they got a point out of it at least, so that's good.
Did you send the picture of you and Drapes?
No.
You gripping up Drapes like a prom date?
I had my arm around it. What am I supposed to do?
I mean,
Put it on his hip?
no, you put it on the back. It's like I learned the hard way too. Don't worry. Got a photo out there with Chris floating around somewhere.
yeah.
I'm just like,
Oh,
yeah, you got Drapes gripped up, man. Did you take him home?
Huh?
Did you get the first base?
No. That's as far as I got.
Not as tight.
Yeah, not as tight.
He's like a Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Your birthday just passed too.
Damn. Too old.
Yep. Speaking of which, Dwight Howard.
Yeah. Yeah. What a
Shit is-
segue there.
Shit is wild, bro.
Chris, you're more informed in this
No,
situation. I'm not even being like that. You are literally more informed in this situation than us.
Chris was there.
It's not. Chris was there.
Chris was in the closet dressed as Superman.
I'm not there. This is not the part of the NBA that I cover. This is not my specialty.
You literally sent it to us in the group chat. You broke this.
You said you
I
watched a
didn't
video
break
on
the
it.
news. I got through a friend. A friend sent me a link, and it was like, wow.
The way
That's
you
crazy.
said it.
Yeah.
Sent you a link of the
Made it
video.
sound like completely
then-
opposite. What's going on with Dwight Howard though? What is this report?
So allegedly,
clarity.
this is I believe like 2017 or 2019 like sexual assault case that's pending in court right now, and so they were testifying, and so Dwight Howard. There's a part of this story that there was an encounter with a man that he had, and so under oath
An
he said,
entanglement.
yeah, an entanglement, if you will, and so what happened is he gave a dude some sloppy toppy. That's
Come
what he admitted to in
on,
court.
why you gotta say it like
then-
that?
How else is he supposed to say it?
Can you use like oral or
He performed oral sex against a man's will.
sloppy toppy?
The
just makes
transcript was, "You're gonna take this sloppy toppy."
no, it wasn't.
It was. The transcript, because they had to verbatim, word for word, go through the exchange, because obviously consent is important and all that.
And this
So
is all on the count of
those were
the
words
accuser,
that were
right?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's still being
apparently-
sorted out, or it's
yeah.
already settled.
So Dwight Howard was in an entanglement with this guy. He had been,
And a friend.
and yeah,
And a friend.
he had been texting this dude back and forth and
It's lit.
exchanging, videos and pictures. with this guy, and he went and met him up at his house to
He went to the guy's house.
to do the deed,
Wow,
and
that's
he
crazy.
brought a friend that the guy was unaware it was coming. The guy said it was a man,
Coming.
a man dressed as a woman.
R.I.P. Oh, wow.
And so they did a bunch of deeds, spilled a bunch of seeds, and and Dwight Howard forced this dude. This is tough to explain. He forcefully sucked this guy off.
Yeah.
It was the guy did not want it to happen, which is fucked. Like, you got Dwight Howard, like, what are you gonna do in that situation? And so Dwight Howard, I guess, stopped like halfway through because he could tell the guy didn't want it to happen. And then
There's so much
they continued to do other things, and the guy wanted to leave. He wanted an Uber or something.
He wanted to leave his own house?
I think they were at a hotel.
Okay.
And the guy wanted to leave, and Dwight wouldn't let him get an Uber. He made the person he brought drive him home. The friend. And yeah, I don't. It's a wild situation.
I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
I don't have words. How does I get like these guys are targets, right? Because they got money. Because the one part that doesn't make sense, but also we were talking about it earlier. Like, how does someone forcefully give you head?
Yeah.
Like I said, Dwight Howard with his, as Skip Bayless would say, mass and tonnage, could probably force you to do anything.
Yeah, but like, I
It's
guess
fucked. It's a fucked situation. Dwight Howard basically raped this guy.
Yeah.
you mouth raped him. But at the same time, like, how do you? I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying.
Maybe that guy
because-
shouldn't have dressed
and
like
all-
that.
and all-
Dwight's a piece of shit for that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
do whatever you want.
Hold on,
do
is this-
whatever you want. Be who you are.
Hold
But,
on,
like,
hold on.
He assaulted this.
Is this
guy.
an accusation?
This was in court. It's on
It's in
court
court.
documents.
But is it settled? I don't know, but he says his like side of it doesn't mean it's like true.
I mean, Dwight Howard explained it. That's how it was.
That's
Guy
Dwight
will not
Howard's
stop
words,
coming.
Chris.
Yeah.
Dwight.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
So Dwight Howard said he
Yeah.
It's
That's
fucked.
why
fucked.
I blew up is because it was like, you know, there were tweets out there for years about Dwight Howard that like people were
there's
interested
video
in.
evidence of him
Yeah.
grabbing his teammate's thigh.
And then
His thigh.
this was the first time though that like through court documents he legally like had to describe a situation, so it's now
It's
public
Yeah,
that
he's a piece of
those
shit. If,
things are
if
out
this
there,
is
yeah.
true, like I
Yeah.
said, do whatever you want. Do whoever you want. Love whoever you want. I don't care. But like
with consent.
Yeah.
with consent.
Yeah.
It's got to be with consent.
Yeah.
And this situation is apparently not with consent.
Bro, it's got to be horrifying.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I thought about this the other day because like I was scrolling through YouTube and there's like proof that giants exist, and I'm like, well, yeah, if I saw Dwight Howard, I'd be like, that's a fucking giant.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right, man.
All right, let's,
It's terrifying,
yeah,
bro.
brought a friend, like another party to forcibly participate too, which was
yeah.
wild.
That is
So
terrifying.
NBA's back.
John Jones.
John Jones.
Speaking of men on men, John Jones officially had to pull out. Oh wow, this is not going well. I didn't mean for that part. John Jones tore his pec.
Damn.
Therefore had to. All right, whatever. Pull out's the word I have to use here. I apologize, guys. Had to pull out of his fight against Stipe for the heavyweight title. He's out for 8 months. And in steps Tom Aspinall versus Sergey. If you guys don't remember Sergey from Pavlovich, so I gave it a shot there. He is the white Ngannou. He is the eliminator. He is the high motor Ngannou. He is the guy who take home. This guy's terrifying. And I know John Jones is like considered the GOAT, but I've always like, yo, he's got to fight someone like that. In my opinion, is where I've been with it. Spinny, what do you make of the news? Is there a funny comment you want to get to first?
I can't read it.
No,
bro.
I can't read.
Nick in the Woodward Sports chat. That's a wild comment to read.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm gonna
it
go read it
sucks. It sucks. What's the extent of the injury for John Jones?
Torn pec.
Torn pec?
8 months.
I feel like that's been happening a lot lately.
Torn pecs.
Yeah.
Maybe Matt Judon. I feel like hamstrings been going around
Matt
like crazy.
John, Chauncey
CJ.
Gardner-Johnson.
Oh yeah.
John Jones, I think it just happened to somebody else too recently.
3 is enough for it to feel like a lot.
Yeah.
Completely understand that. I mean, listen, I guess I have this question because John's already kind of been talking about like retiring. He's already regarded as like the GOAT in some people's eyes. But like, do you think he comes back and fights Pavlovich if he wins this fight? Sergey?
Sergey's fighting Stipe?
Sergey's fighting. That's the other thing too. This guy Sergey is so fucking terrifying. They know. Stipe's chilling.
Stipe said no?
Sergey's fighting Tom Aspinall, the British dude.
Yeah.
That's who's fighting for the interim title.
Okay.
Stipe saw that motherfucker, was like,
I'm good on that.
no pay-per-view points? I'm good.
I think John will come back and fight him.
Yeah. I
hope
want to
so.
see that fight.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's the type of challenge I want to see John post-steroids go up against Pause, if I need to, after the way the show started. Apologize about that. Easy. Were you an Anderson Silva fan? Yes, I was. Anderson Silva, he also popped dirty. I know. But he popped dirty after the leg injury. So, like, he's
Everybody
taking steroids
pops
to heal
dirty.
himself.
You Chael Sonnen fan?
Not as much. I'm an Anderson Silva fan, so I'm like, I like him. I like Chael Sonnen post-career.
Yeah.
Because now it's cool and he's a douchebag. But when he's a douchebag, like my favorite fighter is like, fuck you, Chael Sonnen. It's like when I was a kid, too.
That's fair.
So I get extra passionate about shit. Fun fact, I actually cried once after a Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero match.
Which
JB, you might
one?
remember this. Where they had to take the mask off. It
This
was like if
WCW
Eddie beat
days?
him, Rey Mysterio to take his mask off.
Oh,
I was crying.
Did he win?
Me and my cousin.
Did Eddie Guerrero win?
I don't know
Are
if
you
he
talking
won.
about the
I
I
just
Quit
remember.
match? There was
Huh?
that too. The I Quit match. Where
No, I remember
you had to
those, though,
retire.
too.
Is that the one where they battled
Mysterio
for
had that
custody
one,
of the
too.
kid?
Isn't that fucked up?
That shit is.
That
was
is
SummerSlam.
wild.
I do remember
We
that.
talk about how
That
crazy
shit's
the WWE
so
is.
fucking funny, dude.
Can you imagine,
Prime
like,
time.
as a
Squirt
kid,
squad.
though, like,
Squirt Squad.
is Dominic
White
Cruz,
Sox
is that Rey
Squirt
Mysterio's, like, real kid?
Sure.
Yes, that's his real son.
As an 8-year-old, imagine being told, like, I'm your dad, but we gotta play this stunt here. I'm not gonna be your dad.
Yeah. Wait, so who did he lose the
I
custody
don't know,
match?
whatever.
No, Ray won that match, but
For the custody of Dominic.
it was crazy because it was a ladder match.
Can you find the Can you find the
ladder
graphic?
match?
Can you
Yeah.
find the graphic of it? 'Cause that shit is just so funny. Like that.
Vince McMahon is fucking wild, bro.
Dude,
Wild.
bro was on so many steroids. he
To
was coming
involve
up
an
with-
8-year-old or however old the kid was, that's messed up, dude.
Bro.
That's actually crazy looking back at it.
Nick says I can be unhinged in this chat. I love it. You can definitely be unhinged in the chat.
Oh yeah, I definitely go back and read his.
Definitely were.
Yeah.
No, Jordan Schaefer happened in WWE. I didn't watch him in WCW. I mean, it happened twice. I know he used to like wrestle without the mask. JB, you know what I'm talking about?
That's too big, sexy Kevin Nash.
I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I think it's more WCW era.
Or maybe it was Brock Lesnar.
No, it couldn't have been Brock
I feel like
Lesnar.
that's new.
Well, he was in WWE and then out.
Was
and
he
then
in the
came back.
WWE
In,
before
like,
the UFC?
Yeah, in like the 2000s.
So he was like
early
in.
2000s.
So he's like football, WWE, UFC, back to WWE.
Yeah.
And now he's just
And even
a
actually, when he was
lumberjack or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
He dresses like he's a lumberjack.
well, he said something before a fight. He's like, I got that white boy strength or something like that. And it was like,
It's how a white man runs the football.
yeah, it was a statement like that.
That is
But at the same
wild.
time, it's like Brock Lesnar's like, fuck. I guess we're gonna have to let him say it. Cause like, who's doing something about
who's
it?
fucking with Brock Lesnar?
Yeah,
Is Roman Reigns still like that dude?
Don't ask me. I don't.
JB?
Yeah, he's just not on TV
Isn't he
that
a-
much.
Is he like the Rock's cousin or
Did
something
he
like
lose?
Yeah,
Did he
they're
lose
related.
yet?
No, he still got the title.
I feel like he's had it for like 4 years.
Coming up on 4 years.
Well,
Really?
Surprisingly,
Damn.
that? What?
It is 4 years.
it's coming up on 4
You're
years.
a closet
yeah.
wrestling fan. You look like a closet wrestling fan.
I do. No,
You got the hair.
I'm not a closet wrestling fan.
Let's
Fucking
go
Roman
Red Wings
Reigns.
party.
Does it get higher stakes than this, guys?
Yeah.
Bro, that is wild.
Custody of Dominic
Fam.
ladder match.
That is
That was
crazy.
Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio? Is that who that was?
Yeah, it was.
Custody
You know
of
exactly
Dominic.
who that was.
Custody of Dominic ladder match.
Let's go Red Wings party.
Look
Says
how sad the kid is.
that's what I'm saying, bro. He looks like real life traumatized. Like child actors aren't that good.
He doesn't know if they're trying to win or lose.
I feel
That's
like
oh,
feel
man.
like they method acted him and told him like we don't know
Yeah.
who your real dad is, and this is how we're gonna figure it out. I wouldn't hold it past Vince.
Somebody was definitely on meth. I've been trying to read this comment for 15 minutes now, but let's go. Red Wings Party says Easy looks like what I thought Rey Mysterio looked like.
What does Rey Mysterio actually look like?
It's a short brown guy. I think that's where he gets that from. I don't know, but yeah.
Let me tell you guys about Big Boy.
Damn, we're well past the break.
Shit, Dwight. Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or the classic bacon cheeseburger. Craving chicken? Try the Dolly's chicken sandwich or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries to our chili cheese and loaded baked potato fries. And of course, save room for dessert. They got some delicious, tasty treats like the Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake, funnel cake fries, and much more at Big Boy.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer with over 18 locations. There's a Feldman Auto dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest to you. And since 1996, we've been providing the Feldman Advantage, the best car buying experience. Catch Woodward Sports there every other Monday at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Woodward Sports own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Can't recover from Dwight Howard topic. Man, do you have football on the brain? It just made me think of it. Fall's the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Make sure you guys do it the best. That's my guy Mark over at Swiss Insurance. Give him a call today at 248-800-4177 or email him directly at mark@swissins.com. Welcome. What? You can't just bring that on us. You can't just put that up there with no warning, bro.
That's Rey Mysterio?
Yep, without a mask.
Some people didn't want to see it without the mask. Me. Start crying again. Hit that like button, 5-star review on podcast platforms. I'm Easy. Spend more racks. Young Chris, JB Smooth. You had a night last night, huh?
Yeah, had a lot of fun. Took my dad out to the Red Wings game, courtesy of D-Mac and the Detroit Red Wings. We were sitting in the alumni box. It's pretty cool. Saw Steve Eiserman. Talked to Chris Draper.
Ripped up Chris Draper.
It was
Dwight Howard, Chris Draper.
Relax. It was dope. It was a lot of fun. And I went to buy beers, and my dad was like, "I'll buy the beers." He's like, "Get 2 Labatt's." I was like, "Oh, you want 2?" I was like, "All right, can I get 4 Labatt's?" And he was like, and so he went to the bathroom, and I had 4 Labatt's, and so I just slammed one of them in 10 seconds, so I could carry 1 and then 2 in this hand.
Boy, getting frisky off the Labatt's. How you acting up?
It was a good night.
Come here, Chris Draper.
It was a good night. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, JB, you pull a picture from Twitter of I'm spinning and Chris Draper. We pull it. We put it up there at some point during the show.
It might be in downloads.
I'll check.
All right.
Downloads.
We got a big Detroit Lions show. Shout out to Detroit Kool-Aid. He'll be joining us at some point during the show to talk Detroit Pistons as they make their debut tonight. Chris He's getting his own special topic to give us some Pistons parlays of the day.
Don't blow it.
Don't blow it.
I'm going to be a star.
Do you feel pressure on that one?
What? No.
Don't Dwight it.
Don't Howard it.
Do you feel pressure?
No.
No.
No, I'm good. I got
All
it.
right. Either way, jumping to Detroit Lions news, though. Or Detroit Lions topic, I should say, Spinny. I wanted to grade the Detroit Lions coaches and key players almost halfway through the season now. I'm saying you're hitting week 7, week 8.
Yeah.
I want to start with a guy that's been kind of highly criticized, but also, I guess, praised in a bit. Not as much as I'd like, but I can't speak to it too much now. Aaron Glenn. What do you grade in Aaron Glenn's performance as a defensive coordinator the first 7 games for Detroit Lions?
I'm going to give him a C.
C.
I'm going to give him a C.
See his hands. What's good?
See his hands, motherfucker. He's looked good against inferior teams. Against bad teams with bad quarterbacks, he's went out there and he's put out a good game plan. And Patrick Mahomes was missing his best weapon.
He's missing his leg.
And so, you go up against a good offense in Seattle, you go up against a good offense and a good quarterback in Lamar Jackson, and you kind of shit the bed. So I'm going to say a C. I'd like to see him do it against higher competition, a higher level of competition. We'll see what he can do against a high-powered offense for the Chargers when they get back from the bye in a couple weeks. But
when they get back from the Dwight.
But I'm going to give him a C as of right now. A C+, I'll say.
I'm going to go with a B. And I was up early enough for some reason this morning to watch the morning show, and I asked those guys too. I'm glad they said a B because it made me feel a bit better about giving a B myself. But we faced bad teams before, and they still weren't able to perform to a top 10 defense. This year, even after that poor performance, I think Detroit Lions are still landing around 6 or 8 overall in the NFL. So I think he's still done a good job as defense coordinator. I think you have to factor in the Will Harris situation too. We all know, I think we addressed it Monday or maybe it was Tuesday. He should never. It was Monday immediately.
Yeah,
should never be playing the outside cornerback position. No. Former safety, you probably flirt with a nickel spot, but never the outside cornerback position. Zay Flowers cut him up like a rug. It was bad. But I'm giving a B. I think he's deserving a B. They're still a top 10 defense, and they're gonna finish the schedule. And both the side of Jared Goff, people are gonna be able to look at me and tell me that Jared Goff's a top 10 guy, and I'm gonna be able to look at them and tell them, hey, he's top 10 defensive coordinator too.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the year, it may look that way, depending on injuries, obviously. But JB, I'm very curious your opinion on this one.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because he's part of the show. You can't get a grade?
No.
That's racist.
No. Why are you very curious about his opinion?
Oh. Because he was part of the morning show.
Are you just regularly curious?
I'm regularly curious to hear your opinion, JB.
No, I know you tapped it on the morning show and you brought up the question. That's why Jeff read it out loud. And I think we all consensually gave him a B. Just a solid B. No one wants to obviously give him a B plus or an A right now just because of that basically the ass whooping that we took in Baltimore. But still, you got to give credit where credit is due. He's gone leaps and bounds and kind of improved his defense since what it was last year. Also, listening to the players and what they feel they see out there on the field, you kind of got to give him a B on this. I mean, the grade could fluctuate depending on how these next couple games go, and especially against the Chargers as well too. Monday Night Football is the true test right there. You cannot sit here and give up 30 plus points to the damn Raiders. So if you fail on that aspect, then yeah, that grade is definitely dropping down to a C minus.
How do you feel about Paul Thomas? He says D minus. AG cannot explain schemes, seems to blitz at wrong times, and the stupid poll just covered up the comments. So, idiot. How do you feel about that? A D minus.
Paul Thomas is one of those guys. He's been anti-AG for quite some time. Anytime there's a good game, he's oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm coming around. And then he has a bad game. Oh, fire him! He's just to the extreme. I guess I can't say either way because he's kind of hesitant about it. But I don't agree at all whatsoever with Paul Thomas. He's well aware of that. We've had conversations in the back. AG has been getting head coaching interviews for a reason. He's there schematically. I think you look at the situation on Sunday. There's only so much you could do when it comes to Lamar Jackson. And it's not just me telling you these things. You heard from the Detroit Lions coaching staff all week last week leading up to that game. Lamar is a game-breaking type of player, and he did just that on Sunday. It happens.
Chris?
One thing I want to add to the grade, because my grade is a B-, so it's pretty much in the same ballpark of everybody else. But the one thing I will add that's in favor of Aaron Glenn is that this year he's had a lot of shuffling around to do in the secondary, with the front line, everything. So I want to give him credit for making adjustments, and it hasn't always been the best adjustments, as we saw putting out Will Harris and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, he does deserve some leeway for the fact that, you know, Brian Branch has been in and out of games. CJ DJ didn't even last that long in the season. Like, there's been a lot of shuffling around. And then remember to start the season, why am I blanking on who it was that was Isaiah Buggs. Like, you know, so there's been a lot of just different stuff happening throughout the year, and that's football, right? Like, that's what a good coach does. But I think that should also be a factor of context when it comes to evaluating Aaron Glenn this season.
I'm with you. I'm jealous I didn't think of those points, Chris. Those are great points. Overall grade, though?
I said B-.
B-?
Yeah.
All right.
So same area. I just think that's the only thing for everything that everybody said. You know, there's some bad performances. There's some good performances. And were they against the best teams? No, but overall he's been solid, and he's given. Look, if you're built around an elite offense like this, your defense, you're just asking to give your offense a chance. Yeah. Essentially. So, and I think for the most part he's done that this season.
Yeah, and another thing too is that he's faced Lamar with a lesser defense and had better results. This is another example of Lamar being able to do Lamar things. I mean, Lamar's only one who could do a lot of things that Lamar does at the level he does it at, if I'm being quite honest with you. And with this extension of the passing game, it feels like maybe it was a one-off against Detroit Lions and a bad game on us too, and AG as well. Maybe I can't expect it from every time, but Lamar looked like he hit another level. Like, I think he's definitely should be in the MVP conversation.
Oh, for sure.
Moving on, I feel like Ben Johnson's really gonna get a fair grade in all around. Should we just skip him, or you want grade Ben Johnson?
I want to grade Ben Johnson.
You want to grade Ben Johnson?
But first, I'll tell you about Lady Jane's. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience, and register to win a trip of your dreams at all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Five Iron Golf Leagues are back. Make sure you guys join and play against our very own Woodward Sports contestants like Neil Rule, Jeff Farfredi, Lucas Lafrate. I don't know why I forgot his last name, like 3 seconds there. Klotz. All the above. And make sure you use promo code Woodward10 for 30% off your first visit. It's 5irongolf.com to tee up good times.
Check it out.
Double rip.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Easy, Espimo Rax,
what up,
Chris, JB Smooth. Hit the like button. 5-star review on all podcast platforms. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. We're going through Detroit Lions grades through like the first 7 weeks. Somehow we only made it through AG, but there was a lot to unpack. That's fair. You wanted to go ahead and do Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Mine's quick. A. B+ if not. Spinning?
I'm giving him a B- C. B-/C for Ben Johnson. Obviously we haven't seen what we've seen out of Gibbs. Is it what we've expected? The usage of him, where he's been at, using him in ways that no one would think of. We haven't seen that at all. He's pretty much been used in every way you'd think of a scat bat being used. Jameson Williams, he hasn't been able to get him the ball enough. He hasn't put him in the right route progressions, different things. He just seems like he's deep shot or nothing when they throw the ball to Jameson Williams. Outside of that, yeah, it looks pretty good. He's got Sam Laporta humming and Jared Goff playing well, but I think I hold him on a different standard. I don't know. Like, to give him an A, I would want to see all of these pieces being used to their full capability, because I have a lot of respect for Ben Johnson and what he can do, but I haven't been able to see him use those two weapons how I think they could be used in the NFL.
See, I kind of disagree with the J-Mo stuff. I've seen that a few places now where, like, he's only been used a certain way, but it's not the reality of the situation. I mean, his first game back, he's given one of those slant routes. What do he do? He dropped it. I mean, that's a key attribute of Amon-Ra St. Brown, to be able to, like, catch those balls in the middle and hang on to them and be able to be willing to take the damage that comes along with it. I don't think we've seen those attributes out of Jameson Williams yet. I don't think it's one that he necessarily has in the bag. It doesn't mean he can't run those routes.
He did it at Alabama a lot.
Yeah, that's in his college. This is the NFL. Quite clearly, we saw him drop the ball, and it wasn't like a drop because he couldn't catch it. You heard them footsteps. And that's one of the key, again, it's a key attribute of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Something you give him credit for is, like, actually, you just heard Jared Goff say it. That's where I pulled that out of my ass from. He said on the Rich Eisen show. You know, one of his favorite guys to play was Amon-Ra St. Brown for that very reason. And we know that about Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a hard ass. He's going to go hard no matter what position. We've also seen Jameson Williams given screen plays that just went for, like, negative yards. Like, he's been given these opportunities, just hasn't shown up in them. The ones he's shined the most at the pro level has been the deep ball. I don't really think it. I don't think it's anything like that. But he'll come around. Same Rich Eisen interview too. If you guys haven't heard it, Jared Goff spoke on the Jameson Williams chemistry thing too, and he's like, "Listen, yeah, we had off season. Yeah, we had a little bit of OTAs, but since then we haven't really had too much practice yet, and we are still kind of figuring each other out." Mm-hmm. I'm happy that he was able to be, like, open with it, and I feel the same way about Jameson Williams. I'm not that concerned about him. I'm not concerned with the way Ben Johnson's utilizing him. I guess if I were to go with that B- or see it that way,
he's still only got 9 targets on the year.
Yeah, but he's only got 3 games played, and the one game was just the first game back. Yeah, that's kind of not a lot, but and listen, this Ben Johnson offense. Like, the reason why I go B is, like, he's been down a lot of people. So Jameson Williams being one of them at certain points, Amon-Ra St. Brown being one of them at certain points, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, offensive lineman in and out. He's able to make it work every game except for, I'd say, the last 2 games, probably the ones you're scratching your head a little bit when it comes to the Detroit Lions offense, but I think it's still, like, respectable what he's done. I'm going B plus maybe. Chris?
Yeah, I actually have a B plus because, you know, I agree with all of the critiques. Like, again, we haven't seen J-Mo and Gibbs used well, but I attribute that to new players being acclimated to systems, especially with J-Mo, with, you know, being around the team for a year, but also at the same time not really getting too many reps, having to develop chemistry with Goff, who ultimately is making all the throws and the decisions. Ben Johnson's calling the plays, but Goff is making the reads and the throws, so I can't put that really on Ben Johnson. But the main point, and the reason why it's still high, is because I don't think outside of the Baltimore game this offense has been a cause of concern in any of the other games. And on top of that, this is now another year of teams having film on Ben Johnson. They had a whole film on him from last season and what he did with this Lions team, and the fact that he is still producing a top 5 to top 7 offense, I think is something that he should be rewarded for. I get what you guys are saying of holding him to a standard of being one of the best offensive minds, which is why I won't go A minus, A plus, but I have a B plus because I think that, you know, teams now have a year of tape on Ben Johnson, more than a year of tape on Ben Johnson, and this is still an elite level offense that teams are struggling to stop and struggling to figure out.
And it's Chuck Brewer in the Woodward Sports chat. That's a trash take, Easy. Chuck, you're trash, fam. I appreciate you rocking with us, but that's such a garbage take. To sit here and then witness an offense that introduced rookies performing right away, to introduce a Josh Reynolds who got cut from a team that he's performing right away, to revive a Khalif Raymond right away, to give Penei Sewell the ball and he'd do something right away. Garbage take.
That was last year.
Okay, well, I'll minus the Penei Sewell. But Dave Montgomery came to this offense, boom, right away. Yeah. Sam Laporta in this offense as a rookie at a position that doesn't perform well. He's tight end 1, bro. As a rookie.
I don't know if he still is, but
I think he still might be.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know who. Maybe Kelsey might caught up to him.
Probably. He had like
Can you look it up?
He had like
Or
170
JB?
yards.
Kelsey balled
A
for me this
touchdown.
week.
Kelsey definitely
I
balled.
smacked Boone.
Yeah, you probably all right. Top 5, top 3
Yeah.
for damn sure.
Yeah.
And that goes touchdowns. Kelsey might caught up in touchdowns too. I don't know. You got the numbers?
Shout out.
Look at the NFL tight end stats.
I'm looking
Regardless, though, it's a position that as a rookie, they don't perform to the standard we've seen Sam Laporta. And the standard that Sam Laporta is performing at is top 10, top 5. And that's a guy who has multiple duties, not just running routes, too. He's blocking. It's a garbage take. And on top of that, the offensive line is constantly being rotated between different guys. Like, it's just hot garbage, dude. I don't understand how you could come to that conclusion. And especially, like, because I saw you in the
What did
chat
he
a
rank
little bit earlier. I mean, I didn't know, but I don't even know. I'm just going in. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, because I saw him early in the week, too, say something like that, too. But it's like, brother, another reason why I love Ben Johnson's performance this year, and I'm just going to go up to a B+. You guys know how I feel about Jared Goff. All right, he's not, and just let's be real about it. Even if I was a Jared Goff gobbler, I think even they're able to admit he's not the most talented quarterback. So to have like Jared Goff as your guy, and at some point have him as a top 5, I think week 5 he was the #1 quarterback in almost every single statistic category. You're doing a great job as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Doing a damn good job as an offensive coordinator.
Sam Laporta is like 3.
Top 3
He's top 3, yeah. It's Kelsey, Andrews, Laporta.
as a rookie tight end. That's damn good. JB, what's your grade?
I mean, it's not bad for Laporta as well, too. Comparing receptions between him and Kelsey, 48 to 35.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair. I give Ben Johnson probably the same lines as you guys. B+, B, like somewhere around there in between the middle, just because I know he's doing what he can out there. We're happy with the results from Laporta and somewhat happy with Gibbs. We'd like to see a little bit more out of J-Mo, but I agree with everything that Chris said. All these teams have had a year's worth of tape to get on Ben Johnson right now. The scheme, all right, this is what this guy is running. And I can pretty much imagine that Ben Johnson isn't at home sitting here dreaming up plays that he thinks could actually happen. Like, I'm sure he has a life outside of the field at Ford Field. But still, it's a solid performance. Like, you can't take that away from what he did last year to what he's trying to do now. I mean, he's had some pretty explosive plays that we've seen from these players out here. So I still give him a B, and like I said, still giving him the benefit of the doubt. If we can go into Monday Night Football and actually produce a powerful offense, then yeah, that could obviously go up as well too.
And again, I don't mean to go in on Chuck Brewer like that too, because he's been rocking with I think myself for a long time, even back when we were doing the DSA stuff. But it's just I just don't see how, because he came in kind of aggressive with the trash take. But I just don't see how Ben Johnson could be getting any type of flack this year, or like saying it just makes no sense. And then he has a comment about plug and play tight ends, but that's because of him. It's because of Ben Johnson. Like, it's not plug and play tight ends everywhere. It's because of this offensive system that he's schemed up. I'm going B+ Ben Johnson. I don't think you can hate on him too bad, especially given the Jared Goff stuff.
Yeah, I'm going like B-C.
B-C.
Yeah.
Why again?
Like I said, because of what's going on with Gibbs and J-Mo, and I just would like to see more usage, different things going on, kind of unlocking them as players as we were promised throughout the season. Again, I hold them to a higher standard. I guess I'm not going to put them at a D or an F or anything like that, or an A, but I just like to see those two players, especially because I think those are your two most explosive, biggest weapons in this offense, and we haven't seen much out of either of them.
Yeah, I think obviously I can come to an agreement when it comes to Jahmyr Gibbs, the J-Mo thing. We've seen him in multiple different routes. It's just he hasn't performed. I think it's a J-Mo thing and Jared Goff like chemistry thing. How about Dan Campbell? As executive decisions, talking about timeouts, challenges, suspension guys. You put Isaiah Buggs. He wasn't even part of the team the first 2 weeks. Last week we saw Charles Harris sitting out. What are you grading Dan Campbell?
I'll give him a B+. I mean, he hasn't done anything really egregious, and then it's helped. He had that bad challenge, but that didn't really hurt the Lions, and his game management has been improved. His clock management has been improved from last year, so I'm happy with what Dan Campbell has been doing, and obviously he's an expert at rallying the troops and getting the guys going, which is a main factor of what he does. So I'm going to give him a B+.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm actually slightly ahead of that. I'm an a flat A for everything that Spencer said. Like, again, outside, it would be an A+ if it wasn't for the Baltimore game. And he even admitted in the press conference after that was on me, which I loved how he handled that. So to me, he has got this team totally buying in. He is motivating the troops every single game. And like you said, there's not a lot of things we can point to. There's not a Minnesota that we can point to this year yet so far. And he's shown a lot of progression to me in his play calling, or not play calling, sorry, but his decision making and his, like Spencer said, clock management, everything. So yeah, an A, because I think he's a one-of-one coach. I mean, how many times do we see this around the league? People loving Dan Campbell. Saying I want to play for Dan Campbell. Like it can't be lower than like an A- to me, because I mean, outside the one Ravens game, he's been damn near perfect this year.
Yeah, I mean, see, I think I'm C+B. Only because of I think of again the executive decisions he gets to make, and I just look back at that Seattle game. We're kind of like driving down there, and you're just kind of scratching your head, like, okay, like where's the timeout here? If we're just like, it felt we played for the field goal in that game versus like trying to actually win it. And then I'll go B. I'll go B+. I'll take a step back. But the Isaiah Buggs thing, that felt like disciplinary. I don't know what it was with Charles Harris recently, but that feels like, and maybe it's because Jack Campbell was playing well at the Sam role, and he get back in the coverage probably a lot better than you expect a or Charles Harris, or maybe Will Harris. But I go B+. I ain't mad at it. When we get back, though, yesterday we did a Tinder segment. Swipe right, swipe left. Today we're doing what is that called?
Blind date.
Blind date?
Yeah.
Blind date. We'll discuss more when we get back.
Tell us about Fairway.
I'll tell you about Fairway Packing Company. It's Dwight Howard's favorite place to shop because it got all that meat. Tri-aged meat, prime beef, and Wagyu beef. All for yourself and or Dwight Howard. Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or you have it ordered to your house at fairwaypacking.com.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Okay. How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas trip? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. You can purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win at drinksyntron.com/Vegas and buy Syntron at your local Meijer store. It's Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best versions of themselves. Go to drinksyntron.com/Vegas. Why wait?
What up? That picture trips me out every time. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe just because it's new. I don't know. Maybe because it says skinny. And I'm a heavyweight.
Targeted?
Yeah.
Triggered.
What's going on here? Yeah, I'm triggered. Hit the like button, 5-star review on podcast platforms. Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy, Spin More Racks, Young Chris, JB Smooth. Like I said, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. But it's time for a special segment. It is the Heavyweights Blind Date. And what's going to happen here is we each have a contestant, a trade candidate, if you will. And we're going to give you the their qualities, their attributes, and what they have to offer you as a Detroit Lions fan. And we're going to give you guys the option to vote on which contestant you'd like to take home. JB, do we have any corny music that fits the description of this topic?
I don't know about corny music, but I think I got something for you in the blind date realm.
Let's get it. All right. Start. Ooh, nice, JB. I like it.
This is actually fine.
It's getting me all riled up. I'm ready to grab Chris Draper.
Wait. Hold on. Just so you know. Just for visuals.
Oh, yeah. Some reference. Zoom it in, Chris.
All right, you want me to zoom in on the hand?
If you don't mind.
All right, yeah.
Because maybe I just can't see from mine.
My
man got Chris Draper gripped up.
Yeah.
Like
it's
it's
just
prom
nice
night.
for the occasion too.
Yeah.
This is just all the way.
You've been waiting for that moment your whole life?
Look at that hand right there. I
wonder if Chris has like, what the fuck is going on?
Look how happy Spencer is too, man. I just want to point that out.
It's a good night.
Yeah. That's Chris's nervous smile.
Yeah. It's a good night.
That's that blink twice.
Blink twice if he's hurting you smile. Blink twice if he's Dwight smile.
All right, Smitty. I'm going to give you the stage to introduce contestant
number one.
Contestant number one. 6'5", 250 pounds. Enjoys this type of music. Long walks on the beach. Is a fan of Mexican food. Is a fan of salsa dancing. And on the year has a stat line of 4 sacks, 20 total tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 9 quarterback hits, along with a forced fumble. He's a versatile guy. He has just as much fun out to eat as a fancy dinner as he does in an axe throwing range. This is a man that can help you. This is a man that can support you. And he's known for what he does best. Just tear up that quarterback.
Nice. Contestant number one, you sound cute.
No red flags.
Yeah, no red flags. I don't know if your audience is type, but we'll find out. Chris, contestant number 2.
Okay, contestant number 2 is this gentleman is 6'3", pushing 300 pounds.
Ooh, big boy.
Big boy. The heavies need some loving. 8 quarterback pressures and 357 career tackles, 28 so far this year, and 36.5 sacks with 3 sacks so far this year on the quarterback. Gentlemen, how would you like to take this one home?
Nice. Hey, the voice sold it.
Yeah.
The voice sold it. You know who else got a smooth, calming voice? JB Smooth. It's in his name.
Oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 3, 6'6", 262 pounds.
Long and lean.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's a homegrown boy here. Went to school here. Oh, man. What can I say about this guy? 5.5 sacks on the season so far. 18 solo tackles. 2, count them up. 2 forced fumbles.
Wow.
Woo. I don't know about you all, but this one's a catch.
JB's nice. I don't know how I want to follow this up. Contestant number 4 stands at 6'5", weighs a muscular 264 pounds.
A lean 264 pounds.
A lean 264. Still qualifies as heavyweight, by the way. He also is 4th in the league in sacks.
Ooh.
With 6. He's 5th in the league with 24 hurries.
Ooh.
He has 5 QB hits and 35 pressures in total. The PFF grade of 78 overall.
You don't care about PFF.
I don't care about PFF. Maybe the audience does.
Maybe the parents do.
Maybe the parents
Maybe
do.
you're trying to impress the parents.
You know, that is your contestants, ladies and gentlemen. Contestant 1 was Spinnies. Contestant 2, Chris. Contestant 3 was JB. And contestant number 4 was myself. The poll is officially up. I want to know you, the audience. Who would you like the Detroit Lions to take home? For the holidays. It's about to get cold. About to be chilly. You want to feel all warm and fuzzy about your Detroit Lions. You want to know that they're going places. And maybe it might lead to a ring.
Maybe might lead
Something
to a
serious
ring.
like a ring.
Something serious.
You know?
We're not looking for little flings here.
No.
We're looking for long-term commitment.
Long-term
You want one of these big men to pin you down for a long time.
Get down and dirty in the trenches. Or maybe backing it up in the secondary.
Maybe.
Just a refresh for the audience, Spinny. Your contestant. Give us some stats on that.
Like I said, my contestant, he's 6'5". He's a lean 250. This is a man that's had 42 sacks in his short career.
That's crazy.
He knows how to get to the quarterback. He knows how to take care of business. He knows how to bring home the bacon. Not only that, he has 8 forced fumbles in his career. And he has 11 pass defenses in his career. This is a man that can do it all for you.
Okay. JB's contestant number 3 is in the league. It's in the lead. Chris, I'm going to give you one more chance to tell your contestant to the audience.
I mean, again, you want some. I don't know about you, but you know, I prefer some thickness. 6'3", 300. 300. It don't get much thicker than that. That's a lot of love to give.
Hey, JB is
JB's running away with it.
At what point do I call off the votes? You want 40, 50?
Call it.
How many votes?
553. We'll call it off at 553.
All right, since JB's in the lead, I'm gonna give my guy one more chance
Don't touch the dial.
Listen, a tall, lean, muscular 6'5", 264. Listen, this guy is 4th in the league when it comes to sacking a quarterback. 4th in the league. 6 of them on the year. That's higher than Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes.
Higher than Aiden Hutchinson. 5th in the league in hurries. Guy knows how to get to the quarterback.
Let me tell you one thing about contestant number 1. This man is independent. This man does not have another twin tower to go with.
Okay.
He's by himself. He has done it by himself. And he has shown this league that he can do it on his own. So he's not going to be, texting you, calling you, checking up on you every second. Because he's got his own. He can do his own. This man is independent and he knows how to get it done. You pair that with a nice pairing you already have, you could be seeing a career year for this player.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the poll is coming to a close. There's now 552 on our side of the screen. There's 50 votes in there. Make sure you get your votes in. See who you want Detroit Lions to take home for the winner. Contestant number 3. Ding, ding, ding.
Hey.
Please step through the door.
Hold on. We got to do losers first. You know how it goes?
Yeah.
Contestant number 1. Reveal yourself.
I'm Brian Burns.
Blackface!
Contestant number 1 was Brian Burns. You guys passed on him. It's all right. He's going to get his because he gets his. Not like Dwight, not in the Dwight way, but he takes care of business.
Contestant number 2.
That's me.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Jonathan Allen.
Ooh.
Jonathan Allen.
I
feel like y'all picked that one just because he has a long neck too. His neck is crazy. I'm looking at his stats right now. Looking at his picture. That shit extends.
Easy. Contestant number 4.
Contestant number 4 was Chase Young. That's my guy. I claimed dibs on him because I thought I'd be winning that one, but nothing beats a smooth, calming voice of JB Smooth. Contestant
Who was your winner?
number 3. Who are the Detroit Lions fans taking home?
Oh, the winner. You are all going to be happy with this one. He's going to make you sweat. Montez Sweat.
Ooh. JB Smooth. With the dub, how you feel about Montez Sweat coming to Detroit Lions?
Not too bad. I mean, this dude is like a full-time starter. I think it's a quality investment if Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell do decide to jump on this opportunity, but he is going to need a new contract coming around for next season, and he's probably going to want to ask for a little bit more than what he's on right now. So it's a quality investment. If you want to take that chance and that opportunity, I think this could help the Lions long-term in the future as well.
He's somebody you can build with.
Definitely someone you can build with.
Have a future with.
Feel comfortable.
Thoughts of a ring, baby. You know what I mean?
Thoughts of a ring.
Listen, I gotta be honest. JB's so nice. He might have sold me on Montez Sweat. Hey, let's do the numbers. He's got 6 sacks as well, and I feel like it's probably a lower asking price versus a former first-round pick and Chase Young, and a little bit of a hype train too, because like that's been a thing in the NFL. I've noticed is like, despite the production, Odell Beckham's still getting paid more than a DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes,
makes zero sense. But there's just name value to the guy, and Montez Sweat, I feel like get him a little bit cheaper date.
It's fair. It's fair.
Who do you think is a realistic date?
I think Sweat is the one. I think that's the guy that out of these picks, I think he would be the one that Brand Holmes would try to target.
Nice. Chris, I was reading a comment. I apologize.
Yeah, I just, man, I don't know if it's just because we talked about it so much and we said the name so much, but Chase Young has been the guy I've been circling. I know that we talked about even yesterday that might not be quite Brad Holmes' preference, but I think that's a name that I've really loved, and I just want to continue to put pressure on the quarterback, and I think he's one of the best to do it. So I've always been a Chase Young guy when it comes to this.
Let's go, Rebling Sparty said, "Tell me about your sacks again, Tez." All right, well, that was blind dating with the heavyweights. Now let me tell you guys about Hamlin Pub. Have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular. They have a ton of specials on game day. They got half price pizza on Tuesday. Make sure you go check out Hamlin Pub. They're all over the place. You'll find one close to you. Experience your new favorite pub for all things sports, Hamlin Pub.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Join Woodward Sports in Lounge.
What is that?
Bro, look like you got.
Hey!
Dude, look like you got caught stealing. Man, it is him in the cookie jar.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink for the official Detroit Lions tailgate party. It starts at 9:30 all the way up into game time this weekend as well, too. Monday night as well. And they'll shuttle you there because I know you guys are going to be all wasty pants. You want to know why? The drinks are free. The food is free. It's good times. Visit bullseyeeventgroup.com for your purchase tickets, or for free tickets, visit Lions VIP. What was that noise?
Just broom falling down.
Oh, Platte JB almost fell or something. What up, there? Welcome back to Whatever It's live on sports.com. My boy Easy Joe, my guy Spinmo Rex.
What up, though?
Chris, JB Smooth. Smash the like button. Chris, it's a holiday for you.
Yeah, man.
And the chat's calling for it too. Motown Sports 89. Let's go Pistons. DNC, ENT in the chat. An hour till the tip-off. You guys are sitting here talking about NFL trade deadline. That's next week. You guys want to talk Pistons? Do we jump in the Pistons right away?
I'm down to jump in the Pistons right away.
I think I'm down to jump
Let's
in the Pistons
fucking do
right
it.
away.
All right, the Detroit Pistons start tonight. They're tipping
we do
off.
got Kool-Aid coming in, though.
Well, we get in the Kool-Aid. We can talk about Pistons for more than one second, motherfucker. All right, so the Pistons are starting tonight. Obviously, the tip-off is going to be in Miami. The Pistons are down 3 of their important role players, 3 of their important rotation guys for a month, almost a month. You're losing Bogey, you're losing Monte Morris, you're losing Isaiah Livers. You're not going to have them around for about a month. So the Pistons are going to have to shake some things around to see how it works. The starting lineup is what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about this yesterday. Mm-hmm. Am I crazy for wanting Alec Burks in the starting lineup for the Detroit Pistons to make up for that lack of shooting with Bogey gone? Because with Alec Burks in there, you have a shooter. I think you have the defensive capabilities to kind of mask his traffic coneness because you have Cade Cunningham, you have Oscar Thompson, you have Isaiah Stewart, and you have Jalen Duren, who are four very quality defenders that they can make up for, having a sandbag as traffic coneness. And you desperately need the shooting in the starting lineup.
I don't think
Alec Burks or Joe Harris.
I don't know who Joe Harris would start. I'd rather have Asor and then I'd rather have Burks
at the 2.
Yeah,
Joe Harris at the 2.
Yeah,
I'm good. I think he's got a lot more traffic coneness than Alec Burks.
They're both pretty coney.
Yeah. I like Alec Burks' ability to play make a little bit. He's also, I think his 3-point is like probably one of the nastiest in the team for sure. That was a wild time to be alive. It was a thing in like. No, actually, it was 2012.
Shout out that motherland, 12 years old with guns in hands.
I'm not mad at you. I've always wanted shooting this lineup. I think that's what we want to surround Cade Cunningham with to have success in this league. I think Ivy will be there at some point. He's probably gonna start tonight. I think the bogey injury. I know Coach
so you
talked
took
about
your
that.
Victory lap a little too early, huh?
Well, I took it, but then my man got hurt.
Hey, yo.
I was just saying. That's what happened.
White ass.
We still don't even know what's going on. I'm gonna check for an update on that. Chris, I know you've been itching to speak on this.
Yeah, as far as starting lineup goes, I like that, Spencer. I'm good with that. I'm good with that starting lineup. But one thing I do want to point is I'm not totally against Ivy starting as well. I get why you want Asar to start because he's proven that he's going to be a very good defender right away in the NBA. He's not locking down your best, the other team's best player, but he is going to guard them and guard them decently well. And he makes when he plays. He has a very good feel for the game. He's an excellent cutter, so I like him, and I'm not opposed to him starting. But I'm also not opposed to Ivy starting too still because. Ivy, this is a stat that I feel like a lot of people don't really bring attention to, and that is that he's shooting 36% on catch and shoot from 3. So Ivy is shooting at a very good clip, and you got to presume that in a Cade-led offense that most of Ivy's shooting would come from catch and shoot from the creation of the Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren pick and roll. So. To me, I feel like he is good enough to start. I get Burks. Burks has a different gravity. They're definitely going to let Ivy shoot. They're going to close out a little less hard on him than they would Alec Burks. But I definitely think there's no issue if they decide to start the young 5, which is Cade, Ivy, Asar, Stewart, and Duren.
I feel like the spacing on that lineup cannot survive in the NBA today. You cannot survive a lineup where nobody on there can shoot over 35% from 3.
Here's the thing. Again, Ivy on catch and shoot, which is what most people would be getting, would be 36%, so slightly over that. I get what you're saying, Spencer. However, the truth is, whether this lineup starts or not, this is a lineup that Pistons are going to see throughout the season. Like, this is a lineup that's going to be run every game. I firmly believe that there will be at least one moment in every single game where you do see the young 5, whether it starts, whether it finishes, whether it's something in the second or third quarter. This will be a lineup that the Pistons will definitely want to test because this is their core 5 of young guys that they're looking to build around. And I know that people don't look at Stewart as a core player, but they just signed him to an extension, so he is by all technicality a core player of this Piston roster. So this is a lineup that you're definitely going to see. That's why I'm not opposed to it starting, because it ultimately is a lineup that we're going to see regardless. But I'm with Alec Burks starting. I like that. I like having one elite shooter. You'd like to have more, obviously, surrounding Cade, but I think that if you can have Alec Burks, if you're choosing shooters, I definitely would take Burks over Harris. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what this team can do.
Yeah, I was really curious to see what this lineup was going to be. Just like not even just like 1 through 5, the starting lineup. I want to see how much like playing time Killian Hayes is actually going to get, because there was a lot of like positive things said about him throughout camp by Coach, and he played well too. Killian, but performed like to a standard that I never really expected him to reach back. I ultimately packed him away. I mean, you guys watched the show. I was been very dismissive and disrespectful of Killian Hayes, but his short time with Monty, he's looked like he's revived himself a little bit. And I thought some of it maybe was the hip, and that just kind of left him toast. But Monty was high on him, and that defensive lineup between he and Asor and Cade, it was nice. It was nice. And I guess I'm obviously excited to watch my Pistons play. I'm more excited to watch Cade Cunningham play above everything and anything else. But I really was curious to see like how that Killian, I guess, resurgence rolled into the season. But he's also had spurts for that season too.
I don't want to hear Killian resurgence until he shoots over 20% from three. We know Killian can play defense. We know Killian is a good distributor. Until he shoots 45+% from the floor and at least 28% from three, I don't want to hear about a Killian resurgence.
Yeah.
We know what he is. We know what he can do. We know what he can't do, which is put the ball in the basket. Until I see him doing that on a consistent level, and I'm not talking about him going out there and scoring 30 every night, but making open shots. When the defense is backing off of you, making them pay when you have to. That's when I'll say, okay, Killian looks better. But until then, I'm not hearing about a Killian.
Did he not give you that in a little bit of preseason?
No. He shot like 14% from three.
He shot higher than that. We only played the 2 games.
I'll say this with Killian too is even like the 3-point shot, obviously, yes, important, especially on this Piston team that doesn't have a lot of spacing. But I'll say when it comes to Killian, like even if you just start hitting that floater when they go under on the screens, like finishing at the rim, like those kind of things. If you're even just doing that, and you're not like you are a Rajon Rondo, right? Who wasn't killing you from the 3-point line. Like that was a lot of comps that people use for Killian. Like even if you're that's a huge plus for him and for this Piston team. So I like that. But man, I'm just excited tonight, boys. I mean, it's at the end of the day, we get to see 2 in blue. Like I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it, man. I want to see what Cade Cunningham can do. No more Rico Hines, no more Team USA scrimmages. Like no, real deal.
Hardwood,
and you're getting it, and you're getting it against an NBA Finals team, the Eastern Conference champions, the Miami Heat, who say what you will about their regular season performances, but they are a team that every night gives effort and has great coaching. So Cade is going against great coaching and a team that consistently plays good defense tonight. So we're about to find out real quickly. What Cade can do, and I'm excited because I know what it is.
Cade's going to see a lot of Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, he is. I'm glad that test first came out too against like a team like Miami. Kind of just sets the tone like for what the season's going to be for them. I mean, they're up against it, especially with starting off as unhealthy as they are. And I want to touch real quick on a couple of things. One, to the 3-point shooting that you guys are talking about. I mean, Cade shot 40% in college on like 6 attempts. Like I think
that's college.
If Ivy can, I think Ivy's going to obviously take a step forward too, and I think he showed. What did he average? Like 6 assists last year or 4 assists last year?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I think Cade would be able to provide you a little bit of 3-point. I'm hoping at least that rim pressure that everyone was hyped about with Jaden Ivey, that he's able to kick the ball out to Cade and he can shoot then. Because Cade, we obviously know he's very unselfish and he can play off ball. He can also play dog with the ball too. But I think he can really alleviate some of that for you too. And then I'll let you speak on that real quick, Chris, because I want to read a comment after that.
Yeah, and that's one thing I want to bring to the lineup is that like people, I get why they're looking at the spacing around Cade because Cade is obviously going to be the ball dominant player on this team, but people are forgetting that Ivy has shown himself to be a good initiator and playmaker. And with Cade Cunningham off ball, if Ivy has the ball, you now have somebody who I believe obviously hasn't shot it yet, but can shoot close to 40% from 3. So you have like that is another good shooter.
You think
so,
Ivy
like,
can shoot 40% from 3?
Cade.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying. And again, would he make that jump this year? No, but I think that in time this will be a very good shooter. So like the spacing, I feel like people ignore that Cade is a good spacing player as well. And
Absolutely.
I get why they ignore that because again he's going to have the ball in his hands most of the time. But when Ivy has the ball in his hands, like Cade will be able to provide spacing. If it's Ivy, Cade, and Bojan, and Ivy's got the ball, that's 2 wings that have like very good shooting. So,
wings.
You know what I mean?
I want to read a comment real quick too, guys. This is a phenomenal point. It's made by DNC ENT. By the way, DNC ENT, we might need your bets later. Chris got some too. We will pull up for you guys. But Monty, he had Ricky Rubio. He had career high splits with under Monty. And he says, I truly think that Killian is that to Monty. He had that saying like a little bit of resurgence.
Yeah,
which
we'll see.
I have no issue with it, man.
I don't want to hear Killian resurgence until he's over 25% from 3.
When we get back, we have the
That's
official
not asking a lot.
Detroit Pistons
1 out of 4
beat reporter for Woodward Sports, Detroit Kool-Aid, a.k.a. Brandon Dent, joined the show, getting his take on the Detroit Pistons before the season opener. But before we do that, Smitty,
Let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work out towards their fitness goal. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Dispo is the place to be. They got all the best deals. And if you can't make it there, they'll make it to you. Dispo, your local cannabis plug. You want to know why? There's 12 locations across the great state of Michigan. Visit DISPOshops.com and Dispo Dash for it to be delivered to you. Or just have drive there yourself. Get 40% off your first visit. They're nice like that. Nice like that. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm your boy Easy. That's my guy Spin My Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, JB Smooth. I don't know why you're looking for the starting lineup when we have the official Detroit Pistons beat reporter for the Woodward Sports Network, Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid in the building. Thank you for coming up here, man, and joining us.
Now, look, I always appreciate the invite. As always, Easy. Every time I'm on this show, I got to shout it out. You were the first person to give me any type of like FaceTime, man, on this network. I appreciate it. I really do.
You know what's funny? On my memories, we did like a meme because at some point, I don't know if he was really talking hockey or not, but it's like me, Kool-Aid, and King. And we're all just looking at Pistons talk like, and I was like, he must have been talking hockey. I was like when the white guy starts talking hockey. But I gotta pull it up for Chris. But either way, man.
Hilarious.
Any news on the official starting lineup for tonight? Or what are your expectations?
No news yet. You know, obviously I can kind of see that defensive lineup they went with, you know, Killian, Cade, Asar, Stu, and Duran. I could see that.
Oh, man.
Hey, look, there's people that I would rather kind of see starting. Like, I would love to see if Joe Harris could get in that starting lineup. I would like to. I'm still kind of one of those Jaden Ivey truthers. And I would like to see him start. Shot 34% from 3, 37% on catch and shoot last season. But I'm one of those people also that's trying to like trust what Monty Williams is going to do with this squad, and that's something that Troy Weaver mentioned as well earlier this summer.
I'll tell you what, if the starting lineup is that defensive lineup, the Pistons will score 13 points in the first quarter. Like, if it is Cade, Killian, Asar, Stu, and Duran, that is probably the worst spacing lineup in the history of the NBA. Like, that would be, oh man. Yeah. You got to have a shooter in there, in my opinion. Whether it's Burks, whether it's Joe Harris, or Ivy even. Like, I don't know.
Hold on, Spencer. Yeah. Is that worse? Be honest with me. Than the Josh Smith, Greg Mineral, Andre Drummond.
No, that's fair.
Man.
That's fair.
They survived those days.
Did they have Jameer Nelson back then, or who was the point guard? Was Brandon Jennings at least?
DJ Augustine, right?
Augustine.
Yeah, Brandon Jennings, and then I think when he went down, it became DJ Augustine. I think he was.
Hey, shout out to Pistons point guard, great Steve Blake.
Yeah, Steve Blake.
Shout out.
Goated.
But look, the way that it can work is if they play absolute great defense, limit this team their second chances, get out into the transition, and honestly, it's what Monty was saying, playing Cade a little bit more off ball as well. That's the way you make it work because he's actually a really good catch and shoot, 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, if you got Killian kind of handling the rock and you have Asar Thompson who looked serviceable through preseason from 3, and Cade Cunningham on the other wing, and a couple bigs down there that can muck it up and try and get some second chance points. That's the way that they can do it, because they might score 13, but you remember that OKC game, until about 3 or 4 minutes left in that first quarter, that defensive lineup looked good, and they held OKC to 15 points.
And a big piece of the starting lineup, obviously, now with Bogey out for sure, he's pretty much the only power forward we have on the roster, is Isaiah Stewart. And you look at him, he got his payday, he got his check, he's going to be a part of the Pistons for a while. What do you need to see out of Beef Stew this year to kind of earn that contract?
It depends. You know, he got paid similar to what backup power forwards are getting paid. Long term, and I've said this before, and I used to get crushed for it. I don't know if you remember this man on the table talks about a year and a half ago, when I was saying I don't think that the Pistons' long-term starting four for when they're ready to contend for the playoffs was on the roster yet. And everyone was like, what do you mean? Beef Stew is here. I love him. He is the heart and the soul of this team. But that's the one place in the entire starting lineup that the Pistons can actually improve on without messing up the rest of that core. So I do believe he's paid appropriately, whether he's starting or whether he's coming off the bench, but I don't know if they're using him necessarily appropriately. I know the organization has a lot of faith in him being able to shoot the three. Before he hurt his shoulder last year, he was shooting about 36% from three-point range. And he hit a couple big threes last season. It wasn't many games, so every three he hit at the end of a game was big. We won the season opener off of a three from Stu. Do I want to see him necessarily shooting that much? Especially at the preseason, I personally do not. You know what I'm saying? I get it. There's a lot of times when people think that we're being a little bit too nice to the squad, but this is one in which I kind of want to see him, if he's going to start, play composed, kind of play in the paint, be somebody who can get down there and mix it up in the rebounds, because that's where it's going to be key for this team, is limiting second chance points of the opponents and making sure that they can get second chances on the offensive end.
What are your expectations of Jalen Duren finally getting a starting role alongside Cade Cunningham, though?
Jalen Duren, man, I'm glad that he's going to finally kind of start. Last year, when he started the season off the bench, I was a little bit confused. I got to admit that, especially when Bagley was hurt. The questioning or the reasoning they gave was that there were only two bigs available during that time because all of the other ones got hurt. So you play Stewart, then you bring in Duren when he needs a rest or if they get into foul trouble. This year, I hope there's none of that. He is your best big on this roster. Let him just go out there and go to work. His rebounding rate is crazy. We haven't seen it like that since Drummond. Let him go out there and go to work. And he's easily one of those athletic guys. Like, it pained me. I'm like, you got Ivy and Duren last year, but how many athletic plays did we see? I felt like I saw more in the preseason than I saw all last season. So it's like, let him get out there. Let him be somebody in the pick and roll. Just trust him. I know he doesn't set a solid of screens right now that I want to see, but trust him out there. Throw the ball up there. Give him a few plays in the paint. Like, I don't know why, but back to the basketball, it just seems to be non-existent with the Pistons unless it's one of our guards. I would like to see what Duren can do with the ball in his hands, man. I really would. Like, if you're going to take this year to assess, let these guys work out.
Do you think he'll fulfill that defensive role? At least me, personally. Listen, bad boy Pistons. Then we had the going to work Pistons. I mean, defense has always been like a key attribute to like championship Detroit teams. I think Duren has enough athletic ability to be phenomenal on defense. Do you think we'll ever see that from him ever? And I guess how soon are the expectations for something leaning towards that defensively?
Well, Rodman and Ben Wallace and even Junkyard Dog, man, shout out to Jerome Williams to a degree. They had a certain instinct and a certain knack for it that I don't know if I've seen from Jalen Duren yet. So though he has like the raw physical skills and ability to be that, I don't know where his instinct is as it relates to blocking shots. Like for Ben Wallace, it was an art form. And so this season, I do want to see if Jalen Duren learning more nuances of the NBA game, because he was still learning basketball to some degree at Memphis. I want to see if he can actually get there. That's something I'm looking forward to. And he has, like you said, the athleticism. I think he has the basketball IQ as well to be able to really do it. But it's a matter of how consistent you can do it and how well you can do that without getting into foul trouble as well.
And staying with the bigs on this roster, is the James Wiseman experiment over? Like, is that officially done? It seems like if Marvin Bagley can stay healthy, it seems like he is going to be the backup center. He is going to be the guy that spells Jalen Duren. Obviously, we know the chemistry he has with Cade Cunningham is on another level. Those guys are very close. They play together very well whenever they're linked up together. But is James Wiseman just Are the Pistons done with James Wiseman as an experiment?
The one thing I've noticed from the Pistons is they like to have assets on the roster, whether they're good on the roster or good with trade value, which means he's going to have to get some play. They can't just strike out on this because that was a pick. That was somebody you got by trading away Sadiq Bey.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I still somewhat am like, man, what Sadiq Bey might have been. But I was one of the ones that was like, you know what, hey, let's kick the tires on James Wiseman. You said it best. Marvin Bagley and that pick and roll connection that he had with Cade Cunningham, literally, man, they went 10-14, over 400 winning percentage. Their best stretch of basketball post All-Star break, Cade's rookie season. I'm going to continue to ring that bell because that was real basketball, and they were playing real teams, and they were competing. And Marvin Bagley was the best screen setter, the best roller, the best lob option. He was the best big scoring in the paint. He was a bucket. He can pump fake from the three-point line and get in and dunk. He didn't really need to be somebody that can shoot the three. But the one key word you said there was health. Yeah. I believe that you got to kind of string along this Wiseman thing for a little bit because if something happens to Bagley, then I can see Wiseman being able to step in and not doing everything that Bagley does, but at least giving you something. He showed some flashes in the preseason that he's not done, but, you know.
Yeah.
Chris, I know you wanted to ask Kool-Aid something.
Yeah, and I want to go to, because I believe that Cade Cunningham himself, as being who he is, I think he can carry you to a top 15 offense in the league. I think he can carry you to a top 15 offense this year. Oh, I think he's that damn good. So to me, the question of the Pistons' success comes on the defensive end of the floor and what they can be. And I know this is something that Monty has spoke a lot about, is just the defensive side of the ball. So Kool-Aid, where are your expectations for them among the league in defense? Because they do have a young center in Jalen Duren anchoring their defense, and that is a pivotal that's a backbone of their defense, and he's a second-year player, one of the youngest players in the NBA. You have some guards that are young and figuring out the league. So what is realistically a expectation for this team defensively?
Wow, that's a great question. Offensively, it's easier for this team, I believe, to meet the mark that you were saying, Chris. Defensively, it gets more difficult because it is harder to defend the whole game, especially when your bench depth is not that great defensively. I think they have better offensive depth off the bench than they do defensive depth. And that, to me, is what kind of scares me. It's going to put a lot of minutes on that starting lineup or on those players that we consider the starters. And I believe that in spurts, you're going to see these guys really, really play well. But other teams, it's almost like in football, how you know if you got that running back and that offensive line, how you can wear out a defensive line. That's just what scares me with this squad. I feel like their defense is going to get worn out because they don't have the defensive depth. So I think that we will see them take steps forward. Take the Jeremy Grant years. I think they were 24th in defensive efficiency. They plummeted to the bottom of the league when they lost him, especially last year. It was terrible. Yeah. It was terrible. But they were decent. There was enough games where sometimes their defensive rating was like top 20 in some of those games. They have the recipe for that, but the longevity or to be able to consistently do that, I don't think that they're going to have it there. I could see them reaching, though, the levels that they did before they traded Jeremy Grant, getting back into maybe the mid-20s. And then next season, because Troy did say this in the summer, he's assessing to see what this team is with Monty Williams, because prior, when they were doing the two-big system, it was to try and meet what Coach Casey's coaching style was. He comes from that era. And so a GM and a coach got to work together. Monty's saying, I want to move away from that. And so now I want to see kind of what he does after they see what they have this season to kind of augment that and bring in the right pieces defensively, because I think they got enough offensive pieces right now.
I agree. And we're definitely going to talk some more Pistons. Obviously, they tip off the season tonight in Miami, and we're going to get more from Kool-Aid about that. But first, let me tell you guys about Guardian Alarm. Guardian offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology. It's been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800
Stay Out.
That's 1-800
Stay Out,
and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy.
The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests, for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Waits Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by guys from Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, JB Smooth. We're also joined by the official Detroit Pistons beat reporter for the Woodward Sports Network, Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. If you ain't hitting the like button for us, hit the like button for this man. He's one of the best human beings I know.
Facts.
But
Facts.
Spinny, I know you're kind of antsy about asking him something. Was Cade?
Yeah, it's more to do with Monty Williams and what he's bringing. Obviously, this is a new coach, it's a new system. You talked about earlier how the athletics, players that we grabbed in last year's draft, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, probably the two biggest athletes in last year's draft, and the Pistons got both of them. We didn't see much of that athletic prowess on display because I think partially to the system that Coach Casey ran, the two bigs, the half-court sets, doing a lot of time-bogging stuff. But in this Monty Williams offense, it is the 3-second offense for guards. You make your decision to pass, shoot, or drive within 3 seconds. This team is going to be getting up and down the court, in and out of their half-court sets extremely quick. How much do you think the athleticism of those two guys and now another athletic freak in Oscar Thompson will be on display this season in the Monty Williams offense?
You're exactly right. And it's interesting because he wants them to make that, actually execute the play within 3 seconds. But he actually said 0.5 seconds, I want you to make the decision to pass, shoot, or dribble and get into it within those 3 seconds. And something I talked about with Rob Beard on Woodward Pistons podcast about that when we went through the Suns Breakthrough documentary that kind of went through his philosophy, there's two things here. He wants people to attack the rim with force. Mm-hmm. He had these kind of athletic guys from Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, I'm forgetting a couple of them. Kelly Oubre. Yeah. He had those guys, and he wanted them to be able to attack the rim, and he said put people through the rim, attack with force. And the reason why they were able to do that is because when you're making quick decisions and swinging the ball around, the defense is going to create gaps, and it's going to open up athletic driving lanes. And what did we see in the preseason? We saw Killian Hayes able to actually hit Oscar Thompson from inside the paint, though. Because the ball was swinging, passing, dribbles really quickly. You get into your pick and rolls faster, and he was able to get into the paint. And I remember one play, he just dumped it off to the left side, and Oscar cut straight through the open lane because that's what that type of offense provides. And one of the things he did was he broke down everybody's egos. They even made Devin Booker, and I've talked about this before, it made Devin Booker even commit to this. So his usage rate dropped, but his three-point percentage went up. His three-pointers made went up. His free throw attempts went up based off of this offense. And when he wanted to do ISO, imagine doing that type of ISO work when you know you're that guy, like we know Cade Cunningham is. Imagine doing that type of work against a tired-out defense. Much better offense. I'm hoping we're going to see semblance of it. We're going to see them do it. I'm hoping that they have enough where these young guys can consistently, at least on the offensive end, keep that type of prowess going.
Hell yeah.
I really do.
Now, Tom Gores obviously went out there and made Monty Williams the highest paid NBA coach ever.
Money bag.
In Everdom. And he hasn't actually won a championship. But however, I felt like not a lot of people were raising their nose at that one or sticking their nose at that one. Too bad, because he is a good coach. What is it for you, being around both him and Casey, that you get the feel for of Monty Williams as being a successful coach?
Listen, I love Dwayne Casey as a person, as a human being, and if he was coaching the previous version of the Pistons. Remember, he made playoffs his first year here, and if he had a chance to coach Reggie and Drummond and those guys and they were healthy, I think Casey would have done much better with them than what we got. But it just doesn't work for where the NBA is going and the types of players that we brought here. When they decided to do the rebuild, I think that you need a little bit more discipline. And that's what a little bit more discipline, and you're not afraid to, like what Monty does, break down the Eagles. There are no given spots. Oh, you're drafted 5th, we're just going to start you. That's not how this goes here. He comes in with a philosophy. Defense wins, and passing the ball on offense is what we're going to run. And he's just going to hold true to that no matter who you are. And it was funny listening to the Phoenix Suns players like Jevin Carter, somebody that I know this organization loves, one of those defensive guards. He was with Phoenix, with Monty in the beginning before he went to the Bucks.
Yeah.
And he said it. He was so like, yeah, he came in through the door and said, everybody is committed to this. Even Book. Because he doesn't care. And Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Cade Cunningham, they all use this word with him, aura. He carries his aura. And that's what they said at Media Day. We were able to ask him as we got through training camp, who is Monty Williams? And they say he's a man of discipline. He started putting up signs all around the gym, the practice gym. And he says, I want you to look at this stuff every single day because this is the commitment we're making. And if you're not playing defense and you're not committed to these things on the wall, like play with all your heart. Like it sounds like something that's just like whatever. But there's a lot of NBA players that we see come out here and they're just kind of playground players, or they're not necessarily doing it to the ilk that they should. And we've seen those Piston teams. We've seen Piston teams of the past not really give. I don't want to say give their all, but the discipline wasn't where it should have been.
Not really buy in. Yeah.
Yeah, the buy-in. I think that's a much better way to put it. They weren't really buying into it, and that's because I don't think that it was being told to them. I think a lot of times it's, oh, you're a basketball player, you were drafted, oh, you have skill, we're paying you this money, go out there and perform. This squad has to buy into what Monty Williams is saying, or I truly believe him. They're not going to play.
Yeah. It's very
not like that.
It's very Dan Kimball-esque. You get a former player coming in, and same thing. It doesn't matter where you're drafted. It doesn't matter how much you're getting paid. The best player is going to pay. And obviously we're seeing that work to extent. Obviously don't know how far now with the Detroit Lions, but we've seen it work there. I have a lot of faith working here with the Detroit Pistons, and that's a more talented roster in my opinion.
Yeah, and I love when you were talking about Devin Booker and what he did in this Monty Williams system, about how his usage goes down, but his stat line goes up. And one thing he said kind of piqued my interest was his free throw attempts. Because we know, Pistons fans know, this man Cade does not get called. This man Cade will get whacked on the arm by 3 people driving to the lane, and he is not getting a call. And, you know, the first year, it's like, all right, you know, you got to kind of take that, pause, no Dwight. Just like some, you know, you just got to accept that as what it is. He's a rookie. He might not be getting all the calls. But even when he was playing last year, when he played, you know, that first stretch of games before he shut down for the season, he was still not getting the calls. And do you think that is because of just his nonchalant attitude? Like, Cade is not going to be a guy that barks at a ref. Cade is not going to be a guy that gets demonstrative on the court. And he plays the game very
relaxed,
methodical.
Yes, methodical.
Do you think that factors into him not getting the same amount of calls that he should be getting, like these obvious calls that any other star on another team would be getting?
I think that's why Monty Williams says play with force. When you play with force, you kind of force the referees to have to make a call one way or the other. And I believe that he's going to, you know, Cade had to get stronger. Cade had to put on a little bit more muscle. And he's done that. He has done that. I believe that this new style of offense, though, that kind of takes the ball out of you doing ISO stuff, because I believe a ref is going to be less inclined to call a foul for you if you're going one-on-one. It's like, then beat him then.
Yeah.
You're going to have to use your strength, because the ways that defense is played is different. But when you're doing things like what Devin Booker was starting able to do when Monty got there, of kind of catching the ball in the mid-range rather than starting up top and dribbling into the mid-range, well, then a defense has to overreact to that, because they're going to look and say, oh, crap, it's Devin Booker. One pump fake, and the guy's up in the air. That doesn't necessarily happen when you're heavy ISO on ball, like doing stuff like this. But Cade, maybe when he's playing those off-ball reps and the ball is swinging, and then it gets to him, he does one pump fake, I believe that 7-8 times out of 10, that's going to be a foul his way, especially if he's going up the same way as he was last year for the limited amount of time. He was dunking on
He was
people.
going up strong.
He was going up strong. And so I believe some of it is the refs saying, hey, get your weight up. They don't really give that to young players. But this is a year in which I believe with Monty Williams, this system, and with where Cade Cunningham is at, like he said it himself at the exit interviews last season. He was like, look, man, I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to have to force them to make those calls. And I'm so glad that that's his mentality. He didn't step up and say, I know I'm getting fouled. That's our job. If we see it, call it like it is.
Yeah.
His job is, then I'm going to go out there and make you guys call it. And then Monty Williams' style of offense, I think, puts him in even better position to get a few more calls.
And I think it puts the defenders in worse position. Like if you're moving the ball around, you got guys cutting, different back cuts, stuff like that. It's easier to catch a defender out of position and kind of trying to make up for what he did. That'll put him in a bad position to get fouled.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a great point.
Chris?
Yeah. For me, my question. Let's go to the new guy that everybody's excited about, Asar Thompson, and he's looked awesome. He's looked awesome throughout preseason, summer league, everything. He's shown a lot of flashes. We've highlighted on this show multiple times what he brings. We know that coming in day one, his main contribution is going to be defense. But Kool-Aid, what specifically are you looking for when it comes to Asar in this first regular season game for him? Is it something specific on the defensive end? Is it something specific on the offensive end? Who he plays with? Who Coach Monty sees him playing with, and the lineups he arranges and puts Asar in? Like, what is it specifically when it comes to Asar that you're looking at tonight?
One of the things that I'm specifically looking at with Asar Thompson, I believe it's a given he's going to give his all on defense, but it's actually how he gets to the free throw line. You know, I believe he's going to defend and rebound, but he was somebody that showed he has a knack for getting to the free throw line. It was crazy, kind of just looking in, it's like, oh, he got 6. Oh, he got 8 free throw attempts tonight? Wow, okay. In limited time, you know, maybe 24, 25 minutes. And Monty Williams asked about that and talked about it. He said, you know, we didn't know what it was going to be, but he just has this knack of honestly drawing fouls and getting to the line. The reason why it's important, especially why I think those types of players should start, is because putting the other team, the opposing team, in the penalty and us in the bonus early, that bodes very, very well. Because the types of fouls that Cade does draw are like when the point guard, the other defender is leaning on them too hard or something like that. Those would then become free throw attempts for Cade Cunningham. And so for me, I want to see Asar Thompson on offense still playing aggressively, not settling for necessarily like threes, not settling for mid-range jump shots, but trying to honestly baptize people.
Yeah.
Like one of them games, he really went in and he tried to dunk on somebody. I saw him get blocked one time, and I did not care. I loved it because he doesn't care. He's just trying to go in there and wreck everything. And I believe if he kind of does that, I think along with this defense, he's going to find himself in a really, really good position on this basketball court.
I love to hear that. And we are going to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more about this game, the opening night, what you can expect to see from the Pistons in Miami. But
Oh my God, Chris.
Tell us about Mark White.
I'll tell you guys about Mark White. When you're buying and selling real estate, there's only one place to go, and that's with Mark White & Associates. They offer a minute-by-minute listing agreement where you cancel your listing agreement for any reason for no penalty at all whatsoever. Make sure you guys give them a call. It's 248-290-8242. Visit markwhitesales.com.
And what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome fieldhouse that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field, which can be used for 7-on-7 football. At the Academy of Warren, it features kindergarten through 8th grade with AM and PM latchkey, smaller classroom sizes, a learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, and so much more. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollments, so go and check them out online today at theacademyofwarren.net. Now, back to the heavies.
Check it out.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights live on WorldSports.com. I'm your boy Easy Joe. My guy Spin More Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, JB Smooth, Detroit Kool-Aid, aka Brandon Dent. Do you feel? Because I know you're a big Batman guy, and obviously Batman, he's Bruce Wayne during the day, then Batman at night. You're Detroit Kool-Aid, and then you're also Brandon Dent. Do you want to start calling you Brandon now? You're like covering the team, or what?
Hey, bro, it doesn't even matter to me, honestly, man. It's whatever you guys, because y'all are my bros. I already know what it is. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me, man.
That's what's up, man. Chris, I'm gonna allow you to take the floor because, by the way, I think we're getting robbed by DraftKings right now. I just checked. We still got, maybe it's like a bet in itself. I don't know, but we asked Chris. He was tasked with, because he's a big Pistons fan. Mm-hmm. He has his own basketball podcast on the side. He was tasked with finding us some Pistons parlays for tonight's game. Chris, what'd you cook up?
Yeah, I cooked up a little something that, I know you guys only care about Lions football, but I'm here to win you some money. So let's listen up. So we got there's 3 positives in this. There is one negative in this Piston parlay, because you do have to factor in where we're at and who we are. So for my parlay, it's a 4-leg. First leg, Cade Cunningham, 25 plus points. I think he's going to, for all the reasons that we outlined, a lot of the shooting, a lot of the offensive firepower being out, Cade is going to have that responsibility. Cade wanting to make a statement himself, looking at a team that's a finals team. Cade has said it many times, he wants to bring a championship to his team. I think he's going to take this game very serious on many levels. I think he's the type of guy that wants to beat the defending Eastern Conference champion and make a statement on their home floor. So Cade Cunningham, 25 plus points. And with that, I put something that Kool-Aid talked about that I'm glad he brought to my attention, and it's something that I think is going to pay fruition this year. I got 3 made threes for Cade tonight. And I know that Cade he loves his game in the mid-range, but I think tonight, again, with the shooters being out, and what Kool-Aid said about Monty kind of forcing him into some off-ball situations, I think he's going to showcase that, and I think he's going to hit 3 threes. And then the other one, a rookie, Pistons rookie, Asar Thompson, I got him with 2+ steals tonight. This guy is going to have active hands. I think he's definitely going to be in the passing lanes. He's going to strip a drive when somebody's driving to the rim. I think he's going to be very good. And this Miami Heat team may come out a little sloppy in tonight's opening night. They have been a team that has played much better in the playoffs than they have in the regular season. And I think that at times they play a little loose, especially when it comes to the Pistons. And the final one, this is an under, so Pistons fans might not like it. But I got Jalen Duren under 8.5 rebounds. I think Jalen Duren is a very good rebounder, but tonight in the matchup with Bam and the energy that the Heat bring, I think he's going to get just slightly under that in 8. And this also covers if this does become a blowout and the benches play, then maybe Duren doesn't get enough tick to get those 9, 10 plus rebounds that everyone expects him to be capable of every single night.
So what's the Duren rebound number again? One more time.
8.5.
8.5. And I took 8.5, and I took the under. So I put $10 on this myself because I stand behind my words here. So I put $10 on it myself, and the total payout for that is $723.84.
Damn.
Except for that time you were gonna fight cheese.
Yeah, that's true.
You said 3. Except for that time.
Yeah.
But the one I guess that catches me by surprise is the 3 3-pointers for Cade. I mean, Kool-Aid
again. I think he's that 25 plus. Like, I'm very confident that he's going for more than 25. I can even see him flirting with 30 and maybe even low 30s tonight. Like, I think he's going to carry a lot of the offensive.
Yeah, with Jimmy Butler guarding.
Spoelstra had a little bit of experience with them in the summertime too, and Team USA.
Yeah, I know. I've seen those tweets floating around, and he may have been around Cade Cunningham for a weekend, but you need more than a weekend to game plan against Cade Cunningham.
But he ain't seen 2 in blue.
So that's what I'm saying, man. 2 in blue tonight. He's gonna do his thing, and if he's getting more than 25 points, that's where I think he's gonna score in a variety of ways, which would open up the 3-pointers. Now, if he was just scoring 20 points, then I'd say 3 threes is kind of a stretch. But I think he's going for 30, maybe even as high as like 32, 34 tonight. Like, I think he's going to have a mission statement night.
Brandon,
Man.
is he? I mean, I like a couple of those things. Make some money with Chris tonight if you guys like it.
Look, I think the 3 threes for Cade, I believe that's going to be a product of how the game is going. Because we've seen Cade get down to the end of games, and if it's a close game, we've seen him dot some teams. Man, you think back at that Cleveland game, it's one of probably his most famous, gifts to this day, man, when he shot that mug, went straight through, and you got Kelly Olynyk in the background just kind of in the spotlight as well. Like, let's move to the side, bro. This is Cade's moment. Like, I can see that type of stuff. I can see him, in the preseason, there was a couple plays that came to mind. Rod and I were trying to look at, shout out Rod Beer from the Detroit News.
Shout out.
We were trying to look at who Cade would be in these off-ball situations, and a couple times, Alec Burks brought the ball down the court on the right side, kind of took the pick from somebody, came down like he was going to hit a layup. Cade was wide open, threw it to him, splash.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that happen at least once or twice, and if you get to the end of this game, last 5 minutes of the game, I think people forget who was one of the most clutch players in the entire NBA.
Yes.
During Cade's rookie
Yes.
season. It was Cade.
Yeah.
Ask KD if he can hit threes.
Mm-hmm.
Because he hit like a couple just towards the end of that game. So if you get a situation like that, I definitely could see it. But with them having a back-to-back, Friday night and then Saturday for their home opener, the second game of the back-to-back, if this thing is a blowout, I wouldn't be surprised if he falls just short of that. So I do think it's kind of game situational for Cade Cunningham.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
how did they end up getting our home opener off a back-to-back? I mean, I don't.
Because of the
Yeah, that
Pistons,
was wild.
man. The second most back-to-backs last year, the most injured team. I hope they start to put that correlation together, man. I really do. Sometimes I wonder if it's because they share the arena with the Red Wings and in concerts and in this and that, that their schedule can't be more relaxed. Like, I've just been
A lot of
wondering.
teams
Like,
share
why?
the
lot of
arena.
teams do.
I do
Right.
think
Then it
that
doesn't.
is a point because you know who else is very high in back-to-backs this year is the Los Angeles Clippers. And they're the team, they're the poster
Always
child
hurt.
for load management.
Yeah.
So and they're also an NBA darling. That's a team that the NBA wants to succeed. So I don't think they'd put them in a lot of back-to-backs if this wasn't a.
I don't know if
if
the
it
NBA
wasn't
wants
a,
the Clippers to succeed.
not succeed, but I mean it's LA. Like they put them on a lot of national TV games. You know what I'm saying? Like they're at least favorable to this team. So I do think that probably has a lot of logistics coming with the venues rather than the NBA themselves.
Chris is saying that they think that they want the Clippers just good enough to get swamped by
by
LeBron James.
by LeBron James and the Lakers. They're still not putting out a starting lineup. I still don't see a starting lineup out yet.
For Detroit Pistons?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably going to be Cade, Ivy.
You think Ivy starts?
Yeah, man. I mean, like, the first night out, what was it? It was Cade, Burks. Soar?
Yeah. Burke started for Ivy.
Stu and Dern.
Yeah.
I mean, Burks makes sense because of the shooting, though.
I just want to see who starts at 2. I mean, I know the rest of the lineup. I know who's going to start 1, 3, 4, and 5. I just want to see who's at 2.
Cool. Do you think that was a lot of, because like you said, when when Monty came and he had to humble Book. Not that he had to humble him, but it's just like it was part of his process. Do you think that's what's going on with Jaden Ivey right now, or do you think there's like just better fits elsewhere? Because I feel like I'm almost attached to this narrative for the remainder of this kid's career.
I don't think that there's aspects of humbling. The thing that Monty Williams keeps saying, and the more I read between the lines, he said that there were players that were able to kind of just play how they wanted to play, and they played through mistakes rather than, effectively being shown or being taught or being told that's just not what's going to fly here. And so I think that there are some aspects of making sure that Jaden Ivey learns to play the right way before he's a regular contributor on that starting level. Now, whether he's starting or not, whether he's figured that out, through training camp, through preseason, or whether they want to see how he can actually do off the bench, because
all the talk in preseason is from Ivy. It sounded like he's coming off the bench.
All the talk. Yeah, I mean, even before we even saw him come off the bench, I got to talk to him a couple times, and I believe it was Keith Langlow who asked him a question. The Thursday before, I think the next game was like Monday or Tuesday when they played, and he came off the bench, and everybody went crazy. He just so happened to ask him. I don't even know why he asked him, but he just so happened to ask him, like, what's your thought on starting versus coming off the bench? And he said, you know what? It's special to start, But whether I'm coming off the bench or whether I'm starting, like it doesn't really matter. Like I'm still gonna go out there and play hard. Jaden Ivey is the type of guy who is going to get his minutes, and I believe that who finishes a game is not necessarily who's playing the best on offense, but who's strapping up, because that's when the other teams, that's when they try to turn it up towards the end of the game when it's winning time. And so I don't know if he's trying to challenge him. I don't know if he's pushing him. I don't know if they're testing him for a future role. That's the part that I think all of us are kind of lost on right now in terms of what's going on with this Ivy situation. But he's been a very, very mature player about this. I can definitely tell you that. Jaden Ivey's been somebody who his answers have shocked me. He seems just different, man. Like I said, I've said this on the other shows too. New haircut, new marriage, new baby.
Yeah.
His attitude's different. I don't see. Last year he was a lot more temperamental on the court in terms of if he wasn't getting foul calls and certain things. This year I see him doing things like getting back to play defense and such during the preseason games. So, you know, I like Ivy. I keep saying it. I want to see him start personally. I believe he showed a lot last year, but the one component is that I don't know how much he learned to play with other players, if that makes sense. He was the man when everybody else got hurt because he had to be the man, and that's where we saw him absolutely excel. That's where we saw him excel. And so trying to break this mold in, you know, he wasn't asked to be the point guard in college. He was asked a little bit to kind of be the lead guard after Killian couldn't hold it down for Cade. And coming into this season, I think that they're just trying to either give him the usage to be able to go out there and do his thing off the bench, to where he's not just relegated to just shooting the three or standing in the corner, or every now and then he gets his chance. If he's coming off the bench, you saw in that first game against the Suns, he just came right in and went to work. Yeah. And it wasn't clashing necessarily with anybody else. And I don't think he clashes with people, but I believe this is about also just another wrinkle. Maybe it's about how do you get the best for Ivy. And sometimes it might be putting him in a space where he can just absolutely run around somebody after pick and roll, get into that lane and dunk it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know ball when I was saying those things. I was a big dummy when I was saying those things, and yet again, just calling it like I see it. Comes to fruition.
Oh man,
I'm just saying.
Undefeated. We're wrapping this up before this guy can take a victory lap that he can't even have yet. And that's just in time for football. Glorious Cannabis is back with a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 seasons. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. And if you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. They are so smooth. You can find them at Dispo Dispensary and get them 25% off using the code Woodward at gloriouscanna.com.
Glorious! Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes regional locations, Metro Detroit, Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights.
Well, that'll do it.
That'll do it. If you guys need to know, what gender the baby's gonna be, holla at me. I'll get it figured out for you.
Wait, what?
I'm just taking my victory lap before Ivy starts tonight.
That was a wild way to take a victory lap.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, I just predict the future. I'm just saying.
You could have went with anything. Tomorrow's lottery numbers, like you
No, I can't predict those type of
things.
things. I can't predict those type of things. It's something I need to. It needs to already exist in the universe, and I need to just go find it. You know what I'm saying? Like Spencer is gonna come out next month.
I'm gay. Beat you to the point, man.
Dang it! No, I appreciate you guys joining us. The Detroit Pistons are tipping off shortly. I'm sure a lot of you guys want to get your bets in. If you guys want to tell Chris, he's got Cade Cunningham three-pointers.
Yes. So once again, quickly, it's Cade Cunningham 25 points or over, 3 made threes or over, and then Asar Thompson 2 steals or more, and then Jalen Duren under 8.5 rebounds.
Nice. What?
Pistons dropped the injury report. I thought it was a starting lineup.
Damn.
Is that a thing they're gonna do? You think they're gonna just tip off and we find out then?
I mean, they normally drop the starters.
Yeah, like an hour before.
Yeah, they normally drop the starters, but
it makes me feel like Ivy's starting.
It's been some stuff. I know a lot of people haven't been too happy about how the injury reports have come out.
If Ivy starts tonight, guys, I'm not gonna be here pitching Lucas or Kool-Aid will be filling in for me.
You have a bunch of 14-year-olds in your mentions on Twitter.
Bro, I swear. And it's crazy too. Like once like the news came out, the Ivy's coming off the bench, nowhere to be found, just gone. That tweet had a whole lot of numbers on it though.
Yeah.
But no interaction, nothing to say, except for my guy Don.
Speechless.
Don at least can.
Don's cool.
Yeah, Don's cool. He could take it.
Hey yo.
I know. I was trying to think of another way to say it.
Relax, Dwight.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
All right, guys, we're heading out of here early. We got some food on the way. Maybe we go live from something. Maybe on Twitter Spaces afterward. I don't know. We'll be here for the time being. I'm Speakeasy Sports. That's Spinball Rax. At the real Chris Platte. At Detroit Kool-Aid. Is there any underscores in that one or?
Yeah, no, just at Detroit Kool-Aid.
And at JB up next. Make sure you guys give us a follow. Make sure you like a follow Woodward Sports as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Go Pistons.